Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. Today's video I'm going to talk about my experience 3 years ago. I've taken the leap of faith. I left my full-time job as a biomedical scientist to pursue self-employment. It was a decision filled with uncertainty, but it was driven by a vision for something more. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the highs and lows and everything in between, what I have learned, the wins that I've celebrated, and the challenges that shaped me. So if you're considering a career shift or just curious about what happens through that journey, come and join me and let's go. So why I have left my full-time job. Let me take you back. In the previous video I've shared why, so if you haven't watched that video, make sure that you watch that video, because I share the reason, the journey and everything. The story doesn't end there. Let me take you back. For years I've been chasing the dream of becoming qualified biomedical scientist. You know all about it. I've shared it in a video, previous videos, so if you're new to the channel, check them out. And then I became qualified biomedical scientist. I was really comfortable contributing to disease diagnosis and my role in London. I live in London, so I was very comfortable, specifically in the last job that I was working as a full-time. But even though it was fulfilling in many ways, but there was always something missing, and that was the driver for me to take that step. And COVID was an eye-opening experience, which I've shared, and I've written my second book on creating your career beyond job applications. So that was the reason. There was something driving me that I need to do more, be more, explore my role as a scientist beyond the boundaries of the laboratory, not just in healthcare, but in society. So when I was leaving, they were like, why are you leaving? I said, I want to explore my role. I want to know what's going on outside the world of laboratory. Then I realized also I didn't want to spend doing the same job for the rest of my life. Yes, we always say the unsung heroes, that we are the hidden heroes, etc. I didn't like that slogan. I don't want to be hidden. I want to have a visible role as a scientist, and beyond. Since I've taken the untraditional path to become qualified biomedical scientist, I was like I might as well take an untraditional path into self-employment or entrepreneurship and all that. And that was a chance for me to build something bigger. So, and creating content was part of it. Eventually, fast forward, I developed a passion for the future of work and education. So that was the driver. And one of the things that really, which I also mentioned, is I didn't like the slow progression to go from one level to another. You have to sacrifice many years, and I think that should be irrelevant at this day and age with the level of technology and AI that we have. So it wasn't easy to say goodbye to a comfortable job, comfortable environment, and obviously a steady paycheck financially. But I knew I had a vision. I knew I was aiming for something bigger than myself. And traveling was in the agenda, which, oh my God, I'll be sharing everything about it, what I have discovered and how it was. And there's loads of things that I'm going to share with you on this channel. If you've been following, I know I've shared a lot of biomedical science topics and all that, but this is something for me to give back. But from now on, it's going to be completely different. I'll be sharing my journey. It's been 3 years. Like I said before, that when you're going through the journey, it takes time to digest and think about your journey. And but I've had an amazing experience being self-employed / entrepreneur. It's a lot to share. So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. You'll be learning so much about how you can create your career. So the journey into self-employment wasn't straightforward. I didn't work straight away. I remember when I made the decision to resign, and when my manager told me what's the reason behind you resigning, I said I needed to sort my life. I just wanted to know, what do I want to do in life? That big question. Yes, I did sit down and ask myself, what do I want? What do I need to do? So that was one of the questions. So if you feel that you are stuck, I'm actually fixing the camera as I'm speaking because I realize it's too high. So that was one of the reasons. So if you're stuck in your life, whether you're a student or you're a person who's trying to find out, and this is something I know it's a big question, you really need to ask yourself the big question: what do you want in life? What do you want to achieve? For me, I discovered I want the freedom and the flexibility. I want to be able to take time off when I want to. I want to spend time with family when I want to. I want to do what I'm passionate about. I realize I enjoy creating content. I enjoy sharing content. I enjoy networking. I enjoy saying my thoughts. I'm an outspoken person. I just can't keep my mouth shut. So I wanted a career where I can apply my personality, like when I go somewhere and I meet people, I know my personality shines, and I know this is in my favor. So I can't do that when I'm in the lab. So I had to go on a whole journey of discovery. So the first thing I did, I took a career break. I planned to travel. That's it. I went to Dubai, for which that itself, it's a different experience, which I will share with you guys. What did I do? Embarrassing moments. So stay tuned. There's a lot that I'm gonna share with you guys. So the first thing, I took a career break for a couple of months. I didn't go straight into self-employment immediately. So I started sharing content. I started my newsletter, A Scientist to the Vision, on LinkedIn. And you know what, guys? LinkedIn, it's an amazing platform. The amount of opportunities and collaborations and connections that I've built from LinkedIn, it's fantastic. So it takes time for you to learn, and I'll share with you guys how I did it. I'll break it down. I might have touched on it in one of my videos where I spoke about LinkedIn, but there's more to it than just sharing content, reposting, liking and all that. No, it's more to that. So for me, what I did, I've created a newsletter which has grown a lot, and I'm surprised that it's and I was posting weekly. My first networking experience, anything that came into mind, digital health, because I was exploring digital health. A book that I read was The Digital Nation, about the UAE turning into a digital nation, and sharing my reflection. That was way before ChatGPT, and I was just sharing it, just growing my followings from there. And I was networking, and then I came back to London, and then I decided, right, I need to completely leave the full time and just maybe just travel. So I took a couple of months off, which I'll share my experience about it. So LinkedIn was my playground. I started sharing content on LinkedIn. So that was the more like a comforting, and also for my communication with the world, so that the world know who I am and how I think. And people started invited me to events or to speak. It was within a short time, because I used to share content before on Instagram, guys. So I was familiar with sharing content. It was just a different platform. But now LinkedIn is extremely important. People judge who you are by looking at your LinkedIn. So it's more than your digital CV. So for me, that's how I started into it. And then by the summertime, I thought, okay, now I can start getting into self-employment. That itself, I will share with you guys how you can start, because there's many ideas and misconception about it, about that. Yeah, what else can I share with you guys? So yeah, that's how it started. Then in the summer, I decided to get into the self-employment, registered with an agency. I already informed the agencies before I left my full-time job. I told them, guys, I'm considering self-employment, but wait, I'm taking time off, I'll be in touch, etc. And it was straightforward. It's referred to as locum. So there's many agencies in the UK. You register with them, send your CV, and they send you a list of vacancies, and then you apply for the vacancy. They do the onboarding for you. They do all the paperwork for you. So you just turn up on Monday, and that's it. You start your role. Your CV speaks for you. So it's very straightforward. So that's when the self-employment started. So I worked for a couple of months, took a break, couple of months, took a break, and that's how it has been for me for the past 3 years. So what did I do also other than that? Because like I said to you guys, I wanted to do something else what I'm passionate about. So I published 2 books. I'm very proud of them. The first book was Aida Noor Thoughts. I shared the personal journey. Actually, let me show you the books. I thought, you know what, guys, let me show you the books physically. So the first book was Aida Noor Thoughts. That is a very simple book. It's not long. This was the book where that is actually my handle to my Instagram page. Aida Noor Thoughts. I used to share my content, my frustrations and my thoughts on social media while I was trying to get qualified as a biomedical scientist. So I shared the personal journey, what you need to know when you, not just, it's not specifically for biomedical scientists, it's for somebody who, what they don't tell you when you start your career. There are skills that you need to know. For example, you need to know your goal, you need to know negotiation skills, you need to, and I shared personal stories from my journey to become qualified biomedical scientist. I had parents who came back to me and said, we gave this to our children to read it. You know, anybody, whether you're high school or somebody who's just curious. So nobody shares the personal journey of trying to get qualified or even trying to start your career. So that this book, even though the editing skills were, I self-published my book. So this is, I think I Write, I Speak is basically what I really believe you need to know before you start your career, what they don't tell you at university especially, or even at high school. So that was the first book I published. So that was a highlight of my career. And then the second book, Creating Your Dream Career Beyond Job Application. This book I'm not just promoting, but I actually read it every now and again to remind myself what you need to know. Having a job is one thing, creating your career is another. A career should be aligned with your goals, your lifestyle. This is this is the journey that I'm on myself, is creating your career. What you need to know in terms of networking, what you need to know about LinkedIn, personal branding, all of these things. And it's a very simple book. It's not a very long book. I'm not a person who will write paragraphs. If I don't see breakdowns in my book, then no. Or other books, I don't like text. So that was the main, let's say, the highlights or key milestones of during my self-employment. And then this is two quotes that I love sharing with you guys. It's at the beginning of my book, and I truly believe if you really want to future-proof your career, you need to think about your career. It's beyond your degree, beyond a job, 100%. So, for example, the first one by Steve Jobs is my favorite, and I start my book. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. Absolutely. And the second quote, I start my book as well. The future belongs to those who learn more skills and combine them in creative ways. And this is what I'm doing. I enjoy creating content, and not just educational. I'm sharing my experiences, insights, my failures, which I'll share more about that. So that was one of the key milestones during my self-employment. If I didn't take self-employment, I don't think I would have had time to focus on the things that I enjoy doing and which I'm passionate about. And I had great opportunities. Like I said, because I shared lots of content on LinkedIn, I've been invited to speak. Whether I've done loads of webinars, but also I was able to become a keynote speaker, whether in Dubai, whether in the UK. Recently, I've spoken in universities in UK, and I'm very proud of that, which I'll share. I've shared one when I was invited to Kingston University. And recently I've spoken in another university in Leicester at DMU, which I'll be sharing in an upcoming video, what I have learned from that experience. So if I wasn't sharing content and I didn't take self-employment, I don't think I would have had the time to explore, because you have the option of pausing and taking time. And the final milestone that I did is I founded a page on LinkedIn called Biomedical Science and Beyond, which was aiming to, which was a platform to share career insights and to advocate for the future of education and work, not just in biomedical science but beyond, to educate people about what biomedical science is and to give them an idea on what it's all about. Because I always get people asking me, oh, we didn't know about biomedical science. And obviously because I'm the admin of the page, I can see who who has joined or who has followed the page. I do get shocked. I'm actually in process of creating another platform, which I'm so excited about, and hopefully that will it will be not a specific niche. But to be honest, the reason I did all of this, because I'm touching on new things by myself. I manage everything myself. I create those videos, I edit them myself, I publish them myself, I do everything myself. So the learning itself is very important before I delegate somebody to do it. Again, if I didn't do all of this while I'm self-employed, because when you're in a job, it's very difficult. It's very difficult because you are within that environment. You're tired from work. I know all of it. I've been there. So self-employment is not about the big wins. There has been there has been some challenges, but those small and consistent efforts, such as content creating, proactively being on the platforms, answering the questions and reaching out for collaborations, and being visible in the industry. So that's all of the advantages and the wins that I saw, which I'll be sharing more about it, how you can do it for yourself while I'm on that journey myself. So it's not only about wins. There has been challenges and there has been lessons that I have learned. The biggest challenges which I'm going to share with you guys was self-doubt. There was days or times, up to this day, I do question everything. Have I made the right choice? Especially if you're the only one from your acquaintances, let's say. Am I capable of doing it all myself? Those doubts, they will come. How do you overcome them? Is you have to find your supporting circle, people who have done this before, your close family, your close friends, the ones who have similar mindset, because very, very important. And this is what I tell the students, your circle is very important, because you don't want people who are I don't know the other word, but excuse me for saying it, average people, because if you are among the 5 people who are average, you'll be the 6th one. So that was one of the biggest challenges for me, was self-doubt, because you're doing something that no one has done or around you, for example. Financial hurdles, it's another one. People are always scared to leave a comfortable job because they're scared of leaving the financial comfort. So but the advantage of that, I remember one of the young learners, when I was delivering a masterclass, they said to me, are you richer when you do you make more money when you're self-employed? I said, no, you manage better, which is true, because you don't know, you might get paid this week, next week they might tell you we don't need you anymore because it's temporary. So you learn how to budget, you have to prioritize your finances. For me, at this moment, for example, my priority is to travel. So when I travel and I attend events and things like that, I pay for my flight, I pay for my hotel, I pay for my expenses. So I have to eliminate the unnecessary things. I've mentioned it I think in one of the previous videos. So you really need to be careful how you spend your money in order for that long-term goal. Work-life balance as well, because you are so focused on what you want to achieve, so you will have to eliminate unnecessary gatherings. Your time is very precious, so you will be very, very careful, very selective on who you spend time with. Don't get me wrong, I'm not isolating myself, but I have my own circle who, even if we don't meet personally, the WhatsApps, sometimes I have an idea and I want to share it with somebody, that support is there. So to overcome all of these challenges, I must admit, it's very, very important to have your supporting circle. Be very, very mindful. And the only way to achieve all of this is by having a very, very strong focus. You need to be a very focused person. And that takes time. Because you need to be patient, you need to be focused, you need to be consistent. All of this, it's very, very important. You're not going to see immediate results. I'm not seeing immediate results now, but after 3 years, I saw it when I returned to Dubai and I networked, and I've seen I'm creating that presence that people and that influence, but I still need to level it up, which I'll share with you on my journey anyway. So what I have learned is 3 things. Networking is gold. Oh my God, they say your network is your net worth. I cannot emphasize enough on that. The people, it's by who you know. It doesn't matter what you know, it's by who you know. And I'm telling you from experience. And consistency pays off. Consistency, you have to be consistent. Posting content, networking, that requires consistent. It's not something you're going to do once a week, twice a week. No, you need to be consistent, because people do, even people, when people don't engage, they watch, they know that you are there. And just start. Don't think, this is the most thing that I think that stops people, is trying to be perfect. No, just start. How I started to up to this day, it's been a whole journey. But if I was hesitant and thinking, oh no, I need to have the nicest background, oh I need to look good, oh I need to have the best camera, I need to have the best, no, just start. Because I was told before, what comes from the heart will reach the heart. That's it, as simple as that. Finally, what I want to share with you guys is, it will be a lonely journey, especially that you are, if you, like myself, I come from a fixed mindset, a fixed environment. You get a job, that's it, you stay in that job, wait for that pension, that dream that everybody talks about, which I don't believe in. So it's very important to celebrate the little wins, no matter how big or small, because that will keep you going. You find what empowers you, you find what, and listen to yourself. For me, the last couple of months, especially in this final year, it has been a bit challenging. I was feeling demotivated, but then I knew I had a long break that I can, recharge and think what I need to do next. So it's not something that, like every couple of months you might have different goals, so you have to revisit it. So you need to be comfortable with change. I hate starting something new. Oh my god, I don't like that. I'm just uncomfortable feeling, but it's part of the journey. And then when I look back, I'm like, oh my god, thank god I did. So the wins for me was collaborating with amazing people or organizations, growing my audience here and on LinkedIn, building a meaningful relationships with people, who are influential, people who supported me as well up to this day. So I wouldn't be able to have achieved all of this if it wasn't for the support of my family, friends and acquaintances, because this will encourage you to keep going. So my message to you is, be very mindful who you surround yourself with, because and be careful who you share your ideas with, because that will make all the difference. You need that support. You need people who will encourage you. You will need people who will push you, or even send you information that you need. Oh my god, the amazing stuff that I get sent by those amazing people, it makes a whole difference, because you want somebody who will challenge you, not somebody who will be like, oh yeah, well done, great, I admire what you're doing. No, you want people who will challenge you. No, I didn't. When I post a video on YouTube, I send it to everybody, because I want people to give me feedback. And same for you guys. Share your stories, share your fears. I can help you by, I'm not just sharing my story, because I want you guys to believe that you can achieve what you want to do, and believe in yourselves, because it's really tough out there. The more I see how difficult it is out there, the more it scares me. It's more that there's so many graduates who graduated and they can't find a job, because it's more than your degree. Even if you have a first class, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm sorry, it's not funny, but I recently had a conversation with a recent graduate who did nursing, and she said she just graduated and she couldn't get a job. And this is a job anybody can get. So that shows you have to have a proactive approach towards your career, not job, your career, what you want to do. So I'm gonna leave it here, because there's a lot that I can share with you guys. But I want to conclude this video by saying, don't be afraid to dream, and don't be afraid to challenge yourself. So as I enter my 4th year of self-employment, but also I'm going to add to it entrepreneurship. What am I planning to do? I'm focusing on scaling up my impact. Stay tuned. There's more that I'll be sharing with you guys. So if you are considering self-employment, or just curious about this path, I encourage you to take that first step. And if you're looking for guidance, I'm here to help. This channel is not about just me talking. It's about engagement. It's learning from you, from each other, and inspiring each other. So connect, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and comment. Let me know what you think. Did you expect what I shared with you, or did it make you change your mind? Did it make you think, I could do that? And how do you approach this sort of growth and discovery? Do you want me to share more? Yeah, keep me posted. Let me know what you guys think, and until the next time, keep shining, keep inspiring, and see you next time.